Scorpio, you know exactly what was taken from you. I don't need to tell you what it was. You feel the emptiness burning in your chest every time you breathe. You carry this wound like an invisible scar that no one else can see, but that you mentally touch dozens of times a day. Someone or some situation ripped something precious from you. They didn't just take it, they tore it apart, destroyed it, trampled it. And you stood there, bleeding internally, trying to understand how someone could be so cruel to someone who didn't deserve to go through this. But I'm not here to talk about the pain you already know intimately. I'm here to reveal something you don't yet know. What was taken from you is coming back. Not in the same way, not in the same quantity. 10 times stronger, 10 times more intense, 10 times more powerful than what you lost. And when it comes back, it will be impossible to take again, because you will have learned to protect what is yours in a way no one else can touch. The person who stole your heart, your trust, your peace, they have no idea what they've unleashed. The situation that destroyed your plans, shattered your dreams, and left you lost, they were just the trigger for a transformation that will leave you unrecognizable. Because you, Scorpio, don't just bounce back from losses. You rise from the ashes stronger than any phoenix ever dreamed of. Over the past few weeks, you felt something different growing within you. An energy you haven't felt in a long time. A hunger that goes far beyond the need to regain what you've lost. It's a hunger to become the version of yourself that no one can touch, hurt, or diminish. It's a hunger for real power, not the kind that oppresses others, but the kind that makes you inviolable, unshakable, absolute in your own existence. And this energy isn't growing by chance. It's growing because the time has come. The time for you to reclaim not only what was taken from you, but everything that was always rightfully yours and that you still didn't have the courage to take. The pain you felt wasn't just a loss, it was a deep cleansing. It was the universe removing everything small, fragile, and temporary from your life to make room for what is eternal, powerful, and unbreakable. Have you ever noticed how after you lost that precious thing, you stopped fearing further losses? As if something inside you said, if I survived this, I can survive anything. This isn't just resilience, it's immunity. It's you developing emotional antibodies against everything that could bring you down. And when you become immune to pain, you're free to reach levels of life that people who have never suffered will never be able to touch. Scorpio, the person who caused you pain has no idea they were working for you. Every blow they struck was like a hammer shaping a sword. Every lie they told was like fire purifying gold. Every betrayal they committed was like an earthquake destroying weak structures so that solid ones can be built. They thought they were destroying you, but they were only removing everything unworthy of remaining in your life. And now you're about to discover something that will completely change your perspective on everything that happened. The loss you suffered wasn't random. It wasn't bad luck. It wasn't cosmic injustice. It was precisely orchestrated to bring you to where you are now, on the threshold of recovering everything tenfold. The universe doesn't remove things from your life to punish you. It removes them to make room for much greater things. For Scorpios born between October 23rd and November, to what was once ripped from you left deep scars. Perhaps the trust you gave with an open heart that was betrayed. Perhaps the love you offered that went unrecognized. Or even that sparkle in your eyes that faded because you felt no one saw who you truly were. But now, the universe is stitching these wounds together with golden thread. It's restoring not only the ability to love, but also the courage to be loved wholeheartedly, truly, and overwhelmingly. A love so intense, it will confound those who have only known shallow relationships. And this time, you won't need to hide to be accepted. You will be loved precisely for who you are. For those born between November 3rd and 12th, the losses may have been material, professional, or security-related. A job that ended, a dream that seemed to crumble, a foundation that shattered when you needed it most. But none of it was in vain. Each piece that fell made room for something infinitely greater. And what's coming back now is abundance, not just financially, but an abundance of paths, open doors, recognition, and harvests you never imagined possible. Get ready. Your life is about to blossom like never before. Scorpios born between November 13th and 21st, you've been deprived of something no amount of money can buy: freedom, creativity, and the authentic expression of your soul. But this time of silence is coming to an end. What's returning is a creative power so strong and an authenticity so magnetic that you'll attract opportunities like a magnet. The world will finally see what you've always known, that you were born to shine, and nothing can dim that light. But regardless of when you were born, all Scorpios are going through the same process, the complete reconstruction of their own identity from the ruins of what was destroyed. And in this reconstruction, you're not just recovering what you lost. You're becoming someone who can never lose in the same way again, because you've learned the secret to being unbreakable. What you didn't know until now is that the intensity of the pain you felt is directly proportional to the intensity of the power awakening within you. Scorpio has always been the sign of radical transformation, but you needed to experience symbolic death to access your power of rebirth. And this death happened when you lost what you considered essential to your existence and discovered that you not only survived, but are becoming something more powerful. You're entering a phase where you'll recover everything that was taken from you, but in an amplified version that will make you grateful for having lost the smaller versions. The love you lost will return as a passion so deep it will make all previous relationships seem child's play. The money you lost will return as an abundance so great that you'll be able to help others who have gone through what you went through. The trust that was broken will return as an unshakable certainty of who you are and what you deserve. And here's where the magic happens. When you get something back after being tested by loss, you don't just get back what you had. You get the evolutionary version, the version that only exists on the other side of pain. It's as if the universe is saying, now that you've proven you can live without it, you can have the version that will make every tear you shed worth it. Scorpio, I know you've been carrying this pain in silence. I know there are nights when you wake up feeling heavy in your chest, remembering what was ripped from you. I know there are moments when you wonder if you'll ever be able to trust, love, or dream the same way again. And I need you to know that you're not alone in this experience. Thousands of Scorpios are going through this same profound transformation right now. Please help me connect our community of Scorpios rising from the ashes. Comment below, I am a Scorpio in transformation and I am ready to recover my power multiplied. This comment is not just a personal affirmation. It's a declaration of strength that will inspire other Scorpios reading these comments and need to know they're not alone in this battle. Your courage in declaring yourself in transformation may be exactly what another Scorpio needs to see today to not give up on themselves. Because that's what we do. We empower each other. We recognize each other's strength. And when you declare that you're ready to reclaim your power, you're not just affirming yourself, you're giving others permission to do the same. So please, go to the comments now and leave that message. Leave your mark of resistance and rebirth. The energy that's been building within you these past few weeks isn't your imagination, it's your Scorpio power awakening after a period of forced hibernation. During this time when you were symbolically dead, processing the loss, something extraordinary was happening deep within you. You were developing emotional, spiritual, and psychological muscles that didn't exist before the grief. Now you can withstand levels of intensity that would have previously broken you. You can see through lies that would have previously deceived you. You can detect falsehood from miles away. You can love more deeply because you're no longer afraid of loss, having discovered that you can survive any loss. This isn't just healing, it's accelerated evolution. And the most incredible thing, the people who knew you before your transformation will look at you and not recognize who you've become. They'll feel a different energy emanating from you, a stronger, more magnetic, more unshakable presence. Because when someone goes through the Scorpio process of death and rebirth, they don't return as the same person. They return as an evolved version, a version that embodies all the wisdom of pain without carrying its weight anymore. What was taken from you is coming back because you've proven you deserve not only to get it back, but to have it in a form no one can ever take away again. You've developed what I call immunity to loss, not because you no longer care. On the contrary, you care more deeply than ever, but because you now know that your essence, your worth, your power are not dependent on anything external. They are intrinsic, unbreakable, eternal. The person who betrayed you, abandoned you, stole from you, they unknowingly did you the greatest favor of your life. They pushed you deep within yourself, where you discovered reserves of strength you never knew existed. They forced you to develop emotional independence, which will be your greatest protection forever. They taught you, through negative example, exactly how never to treat anyone, and exactly the kind of person you will never accept in your life again. And now, when what was taken from you returns multiplied, you will know exactly how to protect, cherish, and multiply what you receive even more. Because you learned the true value of things when you didn't have them. You learned the difference between what is essential and what is superfluous. You learned that you can live with much less than you imagined, and so you will appreciate it much more when you have true abundance. Scorpio, the coming months will be filled with accelerated recovery. One by one, the areas where you suffered losses will begin to regenerate at a rate that will surprise you. Love, money, opportunities, recognition, inner peace. Everything will begin to flow into your life with an intensity proportional to the intensity of the pain you felt. And you'll finally understand why you had to go through all this. It wasn't punishment. It was preparation. It wasn't injustice. It was intensive training for you to learn to handle levels of power, success, and achievement that your previous self couldn't handle without becoming corrupted or lost. The universe doesn't give you more than you can handle, but sometimes it needs to break you first to rebuild you into a stronger version, capable of carrying much more. And that's what's happening now. You're being rebuilt to bear blessings, abundance, and accomplishments that will make everything you've lost seem insignificant in comparison. The pain you felt wasn't wasted. It was an investment. Every tear you shed was like a seed planted in the fertile soil of your soul. And now those seeds are germinating. Soon you will harvest a forest where before there was only devastation. You will look at the landscape of your life and wonder how something so beautiful could grow where before there was only pain. And when that happens, you'll understand the true nature of Scorpio power. It's not the power to dominate others, it's the power to completely regenerate after any destruction. It's the power to transform poison into medicine, pain into wisdom, loss into multiplied gain. It's the power to be indestructible, not because nothing can touch you, but because everything that touches you strengthens you. Scorpio, there is a cosmic justice operating in your life that goes far beyond human justice. The people who caused you pain will reap the consequences of their actions, but that won't be your problem. You'll be too busy living the abundant life you've achieved through your ability to transform suffering into strength. And when you're living this new reality, when everything that was taken away has come back multiplied, you'll look back and be grateful. Not for the pain itself, but for the opportunity it gave you to discover who you truly are when everything is taken away from you. You'll be grateful for having discovered that you are much stronger, much more powerful, much more resilient than you ever imagined. What's coming back to you isn't just the things you lost. They're evolutionary versions of those things, versions that only exist on the other side of profound transformation. The love you'll experience will be deeper because you learned to love yourself when no one else did. The abundance you'll have will be more meaningful because you've learned to live with the essentials. The recognition you'll receive will be sweeter because you've learned to validate your own worth. And most amazing of all, you'll become a source of inspiration to others going through what you went through. Your multiplied story of recovery will give hope to people who are at rock bottom, thinking they'll never get out. You'll be living proof that it's possible not only to survive the worst losses, but to turn them into the greatest victories. Pay attention to the signs that the tide is turning in your life. Small miracles, impossible coincidences, opportunities arising out of nowhere, the right people appearing at the right time. These are not coincidences. They are evidence that the universe is fulfilling the promise it made to you when everything was taken away, that you would receive back much more than you lost. And when these signs start to appear, don't question whether you deserve it. You do. Don't question whether it's real. It is real. Don't be afraid to lose it again. You won't lose it, because now you know how to protect what's yours in a way you didn't before. You've evolved. You've become indestructible. Scorpio, your transformation is almost complete. The worst is over. What lies ahead is merely a harvest of all that you planted with your tears, watered with your resilience, and protected with your unwavering strength to continue existing even when existence hurt. What was taken from you is coming back, 10 times stronger, and this time, no one, absolutely no one, will be able to take it back, because you are no longer who you were before the pain. You are who you became after it, and who you became is unbreakable. If this message touched your transforming Scorpio heart, if you recognize your own story of pain and rebirth in these words, don't keep that connection to yourself. Share your experiences of loss and recovery in the comments, without details that might expose your privacy, but sharing the essence of your transformation. Your story may be exactly what another Scorpio needs to hear today. Subscribe to this channel because your regeneration is just beginning, and you will need guidance on how to handle the abundance that is coming, how to protect what is being restored in your life, how to use your new power constructively. What was taken from you hasn't returned yet because you were still preparing to receive it in a much greater form. Now you are ready. Now you have developed the capacity to hold, protect, and multiply what the universe is about to return to you. Prepare yourself, because what's coming will be so intense and powerful that you'll understand why you had to go through all that pain. It wasn't the end of the story. It was just the beginning of your true power.